A good night of Shabbos, good afternoon. We're studying the Tanya, and I wondered to myself if it was worthwhile, because there are so many people who teach Tanya on the line, and they're more entertaining, and sometimes entertainment is more important than substance. And I'm not saying that my substance is any better than some of the great scholars, but nonetheless, how can I compete with people who have greater style and substance? Nonetheless, as I explained, since I had the merit of studying the Tanya with Reb Shlomo Chaim Kesselman for several years, and knowing the holiness of the book, I wish to convey to you that sense of Kedusha and that holiness of the Sefer without entertainment, but merely by the power and the beauty of the ideas that are found there. We've been studying chapter 32, and you got the gist of the idea that we're supposed to have love for our fellow Jew, and by corollary, the whole world should love each other, and people should get along with each other. It's just that the Jewish people have a unique relationship with each other, and as a result of that, we're supposed to treat each other as if we were truly brothers, one person in different bodies. Now, there are a couple of elements to that chapter that have to be expanded, and I will expand it without going into the language. Number one, there is the famous story of a person who wished to convert to become a Jew, a Ger Tzedek, and he asked Hillel, the elder, Rebbe, I have no time to study your Torah, there are too many laws. I want to know the whole Torah here while I'm standing on one foot. And Hillel answered, Da'aloch sagi sani lechavercha lesavid. What is hateful to you, don't do to your friend. Of course, this became the cause célèbre of the Gospels, that loving your fellow like yourself, that's the whole Torah. But Hillel said the same thing prior to the Gospels, but he said it using the negative. Da'aloch sani lechavercha lesavid, that which is hateful to you, don't do to your friend. And this has to be examined, and why this is the foundation of the Torah has to be examined. So let's deal with these two issues. Why does Hillel not say, love your fellow like yourself? Why does he take the negative, that which is hateful to you, you shouldn't do to your friend? And the answer may surprise you, but if you wanted to go into the psychology of self-love, you should love your fellow like yourself. The most telling love of a person to himself or herself is the fact that we tolerate our weaknesses. We tolerate our inconsistencies. We tolerate our sins. You don't go about killing yourself. You don't go about yelling at yourself. Maybe you should. Maybe I should yell at myself. But that's not what we do. What we do is we live with ourselves and decide it's okay, and we just go further. And that is something that we do as a matter of course. And when somebody points out to you, by the way, you know, when you pray, your mind is totally not on your prayers. In fact, I've never seen a person so totally inconsiderate of God or other people as yourself, because you're totally self-wrapped about yourself. You don't care about anybody else when you're praying, and you forget about anybody else and anything else. And in fact, the only reason why you're praying is because you think that this is going to give you some benefit or some brownie points. And you're totally self-absorbed. Now, that's a true statement. When you hear it from somebody else, you get angry at the person for saying it. And the question is why? You know that it's true. You know you're wrapped up in yourself. Why does it bother you that somebody else focuses on it and tells you the score? And by the way, he says, you really don't care about God. You care about your own personal comforts. And he goes about and tells you all the various things that you do and don't do. And so what happens with you? You get angry, you get upset with him, you say, how dare you? You're just the same, or you're worse. Why? Why does it bother you when somebody points it out? The answer is, self-love covers up the awareness and the reaction to inconsistencies. You know it better than anyone else, but you're not affected by it because your self-love covers up any reaction to it. It's when it's identified and there's a reaction to it that bothers you because you've been covering it up all this time and you don't want anybody else to know about it. Well, that same love, which is the love that you have for yourself, that's how you should treat another person.